So today I have the legend, Haulin Harry Goatcher here.
Stop all that.
And we're going to do a little bit of myth busting today because we want to talk about sponsons and handling components then versus now. So my first question, Harry, is give me a little bit of insight on how the skis back in the day handled. What were some of the things that you guys had to deal with, what you had to tough through, some of the maybe band-aids that you guys had to apply to kind of get through it. So give me a little insight on that.
So what could we do to improve is what you're asking me.
Pretty much.
Back in the day on the way they came from the factory from Kawasaki. So what this, and listen very closely, this is what we did to improve on the handling. Nothing. Let's rewind that real quick. I think you guys got where I'm coming from. I was told that you were able to add a little, one of the riders, top riders, had a little weight in the front of one of his slalom boats, you know, just to get an edge, which was legal. But we really didn't have any options. And we had zero options. It was like this in my world, very simple. And Victor, Jeff, and Fish the same way. Here is a 550 that we made as fast as we can. Go beat Jeff. And you know, if you think it wasn't that simple, I mean that terminology, that was our life. This is the fastest that we can make it. We can't put anything on the sides of it, one, because it's illegal, and two, it just hasn't come out yet. And those things were so squirrely back in the day, and I really wonder how we ever did it. You know, I had recently gotten on a 550 when I first got back into riding. I swear there was something wrong with this hull. There had to be something wrong with that hull. I think it was crooked or something. But this rascal didn't really even want to go, you know, in a straight line, you know, very well. It's just they're hard to ride. You know, they were just very hard to ride.
Yeah. And then that leads me into my next question. You rode those skis back in the day, hard to ride. You come back after 20, 25 years.
25.
You ride your first ski that has handling components on it. What was that experience like? You jump on this ski, never ridden it before. It's got sponsons, it's got something on it. What did you think?
I'm going to back up to just one deal here. So I got off that 550 that day, and I got on an SXR 800 with no sponsons. But but now it's a wider ski. You know, it's more stable to ride, and that already was like, wow. You know, what a great improvement. It hooked up, went in a straight line. It was a little funny to turn, but it was such a big improvement on the 550 already that I thought, oh man, I'm in good shape here. But then I got on Mike Yelich's 800 that had sponsons on it. It had the front pro watercraft sponsons, and it had the mid sponsons. And blown away is really, it's truly an understatement to say blown away, because I was taking that same 800 without the sponsons. And look, man, I'm telling y'all, man, Goatch is the way Goatch is. I'm just straight up. Man, I'm just telling you. I had that 800 with no sponsons, and it was just about doing what I wanted it to do. Just about. You know, I was turning it, but it was still a little on the squirrely side. But that rascal that Yelich had with the front and mid sponsons on it stuck. It stuck. It's just the best I could tell you. You know, and it was like you're getting in that turn, and you make that turn, and it didn't want to do anything wrong except turn and go straight and be ready to turn again. And now here's where we get personal. Because when I was riding that 550, I wasn't having any fun. I know what I did back on them in the day. I know, I've seen the videos, I happened to be there. And I was like, I just can't make this thing do anything. You know, a couple little turns here and there, you know, but there's something wrong with that 550, I'm telling you. But as we got in there, then I was struggling on the 800. But when I got on that 800 with them sponsons, I didn't struggle anymore. Now it was F-U-N fun. Now some of the old turns, the old Goatch turns started coming back in. And boy, that's a blast. That's a blast to be able to do that after so many years. So to say, can I not do it at all right now on a 550? No, I could. But it's harder.
It's not as fun.
It's not as fun. So you know what? Why struggle when you don't have to struggle? Because, you know, look, man, I ain't speaking for everybody, but a lot of us, we work hard all week for our money, and we have very precious time. And that Saturday at the Bay or Lake Havasu or wherever, man, I want to go have a blast. I don't want to fight, and just kill yourself. Man, bolt some stuff on, or buy a different ski. There are options now. Back in the day, there was no options back in the day. But now the sport's come so far that it really is like, how far do you want to go with it? We could throw a couple sponsons on the 800, and I'm ready to race that thing. Or now you can even start stepping up. Not me. Younger fella could start stepping up and say, "Hey, let's get a Pro Force or a Commander, and put some money into this thing and do." And that's an all different world. I mean, the sport's just come so far, and I'm just so grateful to still be a part of it, and actually have people like you that actually want to hear about old stories and an insight from a guy like me, and I'm grateful to do it.
Yeah, you got a lot of good stories. So then that leads me into the big question. So I don't know how active you are on the internet, but we see the same thing kind of over and over again. Whenever somebody comes in and they want information about handling parts, or, my ski is fighting me, I don't like the way it handles, a lot of people will get on there. We call them the keyboard warriors. And they say, the keyboard warriors, And they say, the legends didn't use sponsons. Harry Goatcher didn't use sponsons. Nope. So if you use sponsons, you're not a very good rider. So we kind of want your feedback on that as someone that went from no sponsons, having to kind of make it happen to now. Yeah, you were there and you lived
we had
it.
To fight it and finesse it.
So what do you think about that opinion? Like, if you use sponsons, you suck, basically. What do you think?
I'm going to keep this as clean as possible. I mean, one, you're a fool. You're just a fool. Because this is just simple evolution and science. Man, things progress. Either get with the program or not. You're either not going to get on the internet or you're going to be left in the dust. You want to be hard-headed? I like to talk about this story every time I get the chance to. You want to be hard-headed like me and race against Jeff Jacobs for 10 years? There was nothing fun about that. I love to say that because it's the truth. But if you've got an opportunity to put them on and try it. So here it is. So now that we're really getting into this, if I had that guy, I'm not doing that because I want to be old school. No problem. I'm about to lap your ass on your old school ass.
There it is.
Straight up. I'm about to lap you, and I mean within the second lap. All right? And then, now I'm going to get into the guy's head. I mean, how much do you want to fight? Do you want to struggle the whole race? Or do you want to just bolt some things on? It's going to make your life easier. That is just a hard-headed individual. And you got to progress in this world, you have to.
Yeah, fair enough. It's good to hear it from somebody that, lived it. Like, if you had the chance back then, would you have been putting this stuff on your skis to race against Jeff Jacobs, or would you kept it the same?
Without a doubt. And if I had to do it my way, I wish I would have had him, and he wouldn't have had him. Then I might have been able to catch his ass.
I love it. That's awesome. So then, next question, would you ever ride a 440 or a 550 without sponsons again?
Why?
Just cause. You wouldn't do it?
Why?
There's the answer. That's it.
Why would I do such a thing?
Fair enough. We've had other people say it. We feel the same. I love it.
I mean, look, with age, now this is just Goach being Goach. Yeah, with age should come wisdom. I mean, I've been through a lot in this world, like everybody else. And if you don't learn a few things along the way, then bless your heart, you don't have open eyes. You just don't have open eyes for the world. And so let's say 5 or 6 guys didn't have any sponsons and they wanted to go out there and beat themselves up. And I'd be on the beach just petting my 800, going, I'm about to tear you up here in a minute. No, man, I ain't trying to struggle. If I don't have to struggle, hopefully that's where wisdom comes in.
Cool.